True Melee is honestly one of the hardest subclasses to play as in Terraria. I mean bro, what is that? Look at this! How am I supposed to kill bosses with this? When it can't even extend past the length of my toy dinosaur. I don't even want to do this in classic mode. So that's how I'm doing it in master mode. Whoa! Before we begin, if you don't know what True Melee is, I'll have a definition in the description. Also, I will be using these mods because I want to keep my sanity and still want to have hair by the end of this video. With that being said, let's begin. Like any other playthrough, I started chopping down trees and building houses out of wood platforms with missing walls that for some reason, the town NPCs seemed to like. We fought our first boss fight against 2 slimes, but they quickly mushed us into slime instead. I simply just cannot wait to die 340 more times in this playthrough. I craft some wood armor and venture to the right side in search of some juicy loot that might slightly benefit us in the early game. And juicy loot I indeed did find. Cause I got a spear, baby, let's go! Now, instead of killing enemies in 10 hits, we'll still kill them in 10 hits, but at least we can aim, okay? I went to the bloody fleshy biome known as the Crimson and blew up a couple hearts. On the second heart, I got the rotted fork. It's not much of an upgrade, but an upgrade is an upgrade. I unleashed my inner fisherman and fished up a pair of selfish boots and a tsunami in a bottle. I went to the underground jungle, definitely did not die at all, and got enough materials for the blade of grass. Are you kidding me? I didn't want to go back to the jungle, so I just decided to accept the tiny reforge. Thanks to Fogger's mutant mod, I was able to craft an instant elevator, saving about 15 minutes of my time. I got enough life crystals to max out my HP so I would become slightly more unstoppable on my path to becoming the greatest melee player that has ever touched Terraria. The Goblin Army decided to pay a visit, but I remember when my kindergarten teacher taught me about stranger danger, and I said, no. From the stinky bald blue musty goblin who keeps getting himself tied up underground somehow, and then he forces me to pay almost all my income for good reforges. Although I will gladly take the Tinker's Workshop and the rocket boots, thanks. Okay, so I kinda lost the footage from everything from this point to post Skeletron. I don't know what happened, I could swear I was recording, but I guess the next boss to be defeated is Queen Bee. And defeat Queen Bee we did! She was fierce, but so was I. Whenever she was giving birth to her babies, I swung at her with my knife edge, dealing tons of damage. Towards the end, she got a little bit more angry at me and started yelling at me frantically because I killed her babies. She even threatened to delete the footage of her that I was recording right now. But I can't let that happen. I already had lost half of my pre-hard mode footage. So I just killed her. After a couple hours of grinding the bestiary, I was able to buy the Horseman from the zoologist. This is the fastest land mount pre-hard mode, so I really needed this for the wild flesh, since I won't have any movement accessories equipped. I crafted an instant obsidian bridge and placed it in the Underworld. Then, I started to build a roof of blocks to block the wall of flesh's eye lasers from hitting me. But then I just said, man, I don't need this stupid roof. I can probably fight the wall of flesh just fine without. So then I built a roof and floor of blocks to block both eye lasers. Completely legit. No to get it used at all. I promise you. Yup. Then I started to question myself. What if these bridges were too high? What if they needed to be lower, maybe at the bottom of the Underworld? But then I shrugged it off and just decided to fight the wall of flesh anyway. So then I completely obliterated the whole bottom of the Underworld and replaced it with a roof and floor of blocks. Completely legit. No to get it used at all. And I thought that was the end of all the struggles with the wall of flesh. Nope. I'm not even gonna show all the deaths because it took so many attempts. And I'm not gonna lie, I was contemplating me giving up on this playthrough. Maybe True Melee Master Mode was impossible, or maybe I'm just bad at the game. But I kept on trying. And eventually, I got one attempt where I did something different. I focused on dealing damage instead of worrying about my HP, and I got really close. So then I tried to do the same thing on the next attempt, and this is what happened. As you can tell from my cursor, I was just a tiny bit excited. I broke a few crimson altars and went absolutely crazy on the mining session. Perhaps I even went sicko mode on the ore deposits generated in the world, as the cool kids would say. I mined enough titanium for full titanium armor and also a sword and spear. I then went fishing in the underground crimson to get the Bladetongue. I made an underground crimson farm to farm souls of night. I used those to summon the crimson mimics because they drop the those things? Anyways, I fought the wall of flesh again to get the warrior emblem and what? Haha, get outplayed. After getting some new accessories like the leaf wings, berserker's glove, and star veil, I felt ready to fight the destroyer. And let me tell you, he was an absolute joke. I mean, yeah, he almost did kill me, but I killed him before he could do that. I fought him one more time to get enough hollowed bars to craft the hollowed armor and the Gungnir spear. It started to rain, so I went to the ice biome to kill ice golems. With the ice feather dropped, I was able to craft the frozen wings. Skeletron Prime was honestly quite easy. I was surprised. All I really did was use the fetid bagnax when I got close and use the Gungnir when he was spinning. It worked really well. I might have gotten a little bit close, but that's only because I summoned him late. I built a questionable house for the nurse so that I can just recall back and heal if I needed to. Then I can use the Hoik to get out of there as soon as possible. I summoned the twins. I could really only damage the ice if they were dashing at me. Phase 2 Retinazer was a joke though. All I had to do was stand in the box and move around. With the twins defeated, the next boss was Plantera. But first, I needed some new gear. First, I crafted the Drax, Fire Gauntlet, and Mechanical Glove. Then, I got 3 turtle shells. For some reason, I was really lucky and got them quite fast. I mined some chlorophyte and fought the Eater of Worlds to get that juicy 17% damage reduction. I crafted turtle armor, made a healing station in the jungle, and summoned Plantera. Plantera was genuinely so easy. Despite the nerf, the fetid thingies still work really well against her. I went into the dungeon and got a key brand. Then I summoned the solar eclipse and got the psycho knife. This thing is an absolute beast. It's basically just the fetid thingies, but better. I converted my crimson farm into an ice farm to get the frozen turtle shell. It took a while, but I eventually got it. With Fargo's Mutant mod, I was able to summon the Bone Lee without having to wait. Yo, I got the black belt and tabe from the same Bone Lee. I must have still had the luck from Bone Lee, because I got both the Paladin's Shield and Hammer from the same Paladin. I crafted the Frozen Shield, and went life fruit hunting. Yes, listen to that sweet, succulent life fruit consumption audio. I walked through the jungle temple walls like the absolute true melee chat that I am. I set up a healing station and summoned Golem. Much like Plantera, Golem was an absolute breeze. I crafted beetle armor and a celestial stone. Now, the next boss I needed to defeat was the Empress of Light. I wanted the Starlight because it was the best true melee weapon in the game. But there's a problem. How do I kill the Empress of Light with weapons that can't even reach over 3 inches? Well, my friends, let me tell you about this very special woman in Terraria. Every time I'm feeling low, I teleport to the nurse, and she heals all my pain and misery away. I don't think this playthrough would have been possible if the nurse wasn't by my side. You know how some people say every man needs a woman in his life? For me, that woman is a nurse. She just makes me feel a certain way. Okay, whoa. I finally got the Starlight and fought the Empress of Light again for the Soaring Insignia. I beat the Lunatic Cultist. Then I defeated all 4 pillars. It was finally time. There will be no more commentary.